What's up, everybody? You know who this is. This is AJ Copeland. This is Topics to Go. And I'm going to get right into the topics today. I know that you saw the heading down there that states Black folks in politics. So today I want to talk to you about black folks in politics. So, Joe Biden chose Kamala Harris to be his vice president, his running mate. And many blacks folks have an issue with it. Many people have an issue with it because of the history of Kamala Harris as being Attorney General of California and District Attorney. And it has been written, it has been rumored, it has been talked about that she put a lot of black folks in prison. And she did a lot of, it was harsh sentences that she put on black men. And a lot of black men did a lot of time for things that they did that was small. But the question is, did they break the law? That's my question to you. And so let me break this down. So the topic today is politics and black folks. So let me break this down to you. Let's deal with first I want to deal with the Kamala Harris situation, all right? Now, I know many of you have an issue with her because of the very reasons that I mentioned. Some black folks have an issue with her based primarily on gossip and hearsay and rumors, and they haven't even taken the time to research and really find out if any of those things that they've heard is true. All right? But for those that have researched somewhat and know a little bit about what's going on, I just want to give you food for thought as it relates to Kamala Harris and her position as Attorney General. First, I want you to understand that Attorney General does not make the law. They implement the law. That's already there. That's already written. All right? Now, I'm sure that many of you are familiar with the war on drugs and 3 strikes you out. Those laws that was primarily implemented by the Clinton administration. All right? And those laws have been in play for many, many, many years until here recently when they addressed some of the issues as it relates to those laws. Okay? Now, if you break the law, no matter what it is, if you got a little drugs, a lot of drugs, or whatever the case may be, if you break the law, you are subject to the law that is already written. Right? And so it's up to the district attorney to present their case before who? Before the judge. So who really has the ultimate last say-so in sentencing? Is it the attorney general or is it the judge? It's the judge. All right? The judge doesn't have to follow the recommendations of an attorney. But they're going to look at the written law. And then they're going to look at the facts that the written law, the war on drugs, and the 3 strikes you out primarily was brought forth more so because of the violence and the killings and the murder that drugs brought forth. You see, many of us want to overlook that fact, that selling drugs wasn't innocent. It was killing communities and people and children and women and dads and moms were being murdered because of drugs in the community, primarily black folks. Dads and mothers were becoming addicted and addicts. Drug dealers were killing folks. Distributors were killing folks. Many people were dying on a daily basis because of drugs. So, I get it. Their approach wasn't right. because it primarily attacked or went after black men. It put more black men in prison and in jail than it did anybody else. I get it. I understand. But for us to withhold our vote and say that Kamala Harris is not worthy of the vote because of her putting a lot of black men in prison, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so let me continue. Some black folks have to stop using the law when it's convenient, or using their color when it's convenient. And I know I may get a lot of hateration behind this, but I'm just telling it like it is. Any black person that died, whether they died at the hand of a black man or a white man, is something to be concerned about. We should raise just as much hell if a black man or a black woman kill another black man or another black woman because of crime and violence. We should be just as angry and upset as we are when a white person does it. Because Black Lives Matter, right? When it comes to politics, we as black folks should not be voting on a ticket simply because a person is a Democrat or a Republican. It should be about their policies. It should be about the people, all the people. You see, all of us have needs. Some of us have more needs than others. Okay? But all of us have needs. And the job of the government, the politicians, the ones that we place in office, is there should be attempting to meet the needs of all people, not just some. I mean, that's why we are where we are today. Because you have a president that cater only to 24 to 30% of the population in America. And the rest of us, he don't even think nothing about. He caters to the darker side of the country, the white supremacy, the religious fanatics, okay? Because that's all they are. They're just religious. They're not spiritual. They're religious. Because anyone that is okay with the president that we have now and condemn Obama when he was in office, you're just religious. I don't care anything about you claiming that you're Christian. You're not Christian. You're just religious. And you're using the same philosophy and doctrine that our slave masters used, with using the Bible to control, condemn, and to enslave a people. That's what white supremacy is all about. And they use the Bible to do it. And you got individuals that are using the Bible right today to support Trump. Now, again, it should not be about Republican or Democrat or independent. It should be about, what's your policies? Is your policies just? Are they fair? Are they equal? Is everybody treated the same? Is the law, the standards of the law is across the board? It doesn't matter if you're black, white, green, purple, yellow. If you break the law, you're going to be given the same across the board. Is that what you're doing? Are you concerned about the health of all people? The old, young, the middle age, those that got pre-existent, health issues already? Are you concerned about those individuals? That's a policy. What are you running for? Are you running for the people? Are you running for the corporations, the money? You know, are you running for money? Are you running for power? See, that's the problem. That's also the problem that's going on. Money in politics, power and money, corporations dictating to the individuals that we supposedly vote into office that were supposed to have our best interest at heart. But they don't. They have corporations' best interest at heart. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. But we got to stop fighting each other, people. We got to stop going at each other, people. It's not us. It's the politicians. Okay? Those that are being bought on a daily basis. Those that are receiving millions and millions of dollars to keep you oppressed, to keep you in jail, to keep you poor, to keep you down. They are the ones that is giving power to the white supremacists that said that we are not worthy of the same thing that they have. Because that's really what it's all about. It's not us trying to be white. It's us getting the right to have the very things that they have. I don't have to live in your neighborhood if you don't want me in your neighborhood. I don't have to live in your neighborhood. But if I choose to live in your neighborhood, I should have that right. You shouldn't have the right to go up and buy property in a black neighborhood because you have the money and you know black folks don't have the money, and you go in our communities and you buy up houses for $20,000, $30,000, property that is worth far more than that, but because you know most black folks are desperate for money, you throw it at them, you give it to them, then you, after you pay for it, you renovate it, then you raise the price to $300,000 and $400,000, knowing that black folks can't get back in that community because we don't have the jobs nor the resources to pay that kind of money for a small house, no matter how convenient it might be. I don't understand what the big fuss is about. I don't particularly care a lot about Joe Biden and some of his policies. I don't particularly care a whole lot about Kamala Harris and some of the decisions that she made as Attorney General. But at the end of the day, we all are human and adults, and we all make mistakes, and we all do things that we regret, and we all live and we learn. I'm sure everyone that is speaking against Kamala Harris have made some mistakes and have done some things that they regret. And I want to know if anybody holding those things over your head. Are they condemning you and say you couldn't run for office, or you can't be a preacher or a pastor because of the things that you've done in your past? Those jobs that you applied for, what if they judge you primarily on things that you've done in the past? You wouldn't have the job that you have or the position that you hold. We as black folks got to get beyond some things, and we need to educate ourselves when it comes to politics and stop going off of just rumors and hearsay. When you start running your mouth, know what you're talking about. Don't just speak out like Trump does, like our president does. Just say whatever. You know, when people start saying, you know, a lot of folks are saying that. Oh man, I heard it from a lot of people. You know, no, a lot of people disagreeing with that. They never name people. They just throw it out there, and you got ignorant folks that actually believe that anybody could, you know, they say, well, who is they? You know, people say, well, what people are you talking about? And that's what individuals do, because they know some folks are so ignorant out here and so lost and have no connection to reality until they just take whatever anybody says because they're looking for some form of leadership or dictatorship. Some folks love the ideal of having a dictator or a king. I am not one of them. But some folks love that idea. And that's why they praise and worship those that have the attributes of a king or a dictator. I want to see a fair election. If Trump is the man that he said he is, and that he's the better man for the country, then why cheat? Why complain about the votes? I mean, you did get in office. So do we need to look at how you got in office? I mean, since you're saying that, mail-in voting is crooked and it's not right and it shouldn't be happening. I want to ask you, President Trump, if that be the case, should we be looking at the fact that you made it into office by mail-in votes as well as people walking in on the polls? Should we take a look at those mail-in votes that were done to put you in office? Think about it. And those individuals that are agreeing with him, I want you to think about it. Because see, it's not about Trump, Biden, Kamala, or Pence. It's about the people. What are you going to do for the people? How are you going to bring this country together in love and unity? When will we get beyond colorism? When will we get beyond racism? When will we get beyond prejudice? When will we get beyond these things? When will we get beyond other people judging individuals according to their religious philosophies? When will we get beyond that? Because this country is supposed to be that everybody have a right to their own form of religion and beliefs. When will we get beyond some of these things? You see, I see what's going on. Do you see what's going on? Do you see what's going on? And I get so sick and tired of every time, and let me say this. We've had black politicians, black mayors, black governors, black activists. I have respect for those in the civil rights movement. You know why? Because many of them laid their life on the line for their cause, for a cause. How many of you are willing to lay your life on the line? How many of you are willing to face death for the cause? If you're so concerned about us as a people, how many of you are willing to do that? We have lost many black leaders at the hand of an assassin because of them standing up for what was right, for equal rights and justice. And not only black people died, there were white people died for that same cause and reason. For that same cause and reason, white people died. This election, hear me good, is the most important election that has ever been held in my lifetime. It is not a joke. We don't have the time to be fighting each other. Black folks, white folks. We don't have the time to be hating somebody because of the color of their skin. We don't have the time to be judging others because they don't believe in your religion or they don't believe in what you believe as it relates to God and Jesus. We have someone in the White House that have lost focus, that does not have the people at heart, that his interest is not the people. It's about power and money. That's what it's all about. And this country gave each of us a right to vote. We vote according to what's right and according to what's wrong and according to the principles of this country, the Constitution of this country. And we vote according to what's right for the people. What's going to bring us together. What's going to give jobs. Okay? And I'm not talking about these low-paying jobs where you can barely pay the rent because every time you get a raise, the rent go up. You know, they talk about jobs, but they don't talk about the pay of the jobs. You know, I keep hearing that Trump is the one that gave black folks jobs and, you know, the unemployment rate has gone down under him. Okay. That means more of us working in service jobs. That means more of us wiping asses and working in restaurants and being security guards and service jobs. That's what that means. Doesn't mean that we're getting the money that we deserve. Doesn't mean that we're making enough money to pay our rent or our mortgage or our car note. Doesn't mean that we're making enough money that we can leave to our children and our grandchildren. Doesn't mean that we're making enough money to do the things that we need to do, as some of our counterparts have been making for many, many years, because they have oppressed us and kept us down. Kept us down by refusing to give us fair education, by refusing to give us fair wages, have kept us down. Have kept us down even in I remember the days when they talked about the black folks being on welfare. But you know, even that wasn't beneficial because every family that was on welfare had to get rid of the dad. The dad couldn't be in the house. The dad had to be gone. So you got this thing of single mothers. All right? As a lot has been done. But I'm not here to hold grudges against nobody. Every black person, every white person that believe in the Constitution of this country and believe in the rights of a people should vote. Vote your conscience. If you believe that we should be going in a different direction, vote that we go in a different direction. But please, by all means, don't vote on your racism. Don't vote according to your racism. Don't vote according to who you like the most. Because let me tell you something. Every president of this United States of America had flaws. Every one of them. Every one of them had flaws. Every one of them failed to do right by the people at one time or another. Every one of them. And we have to understand one thing, is that you're not going to get everything that you want. You're very naive to think that you're not going to get everything that you want. But you know what? It's a beautiful thing to have everything that you need. I'm AJ Copeland, and this was Topics to Go, Black Folks and Politics. Hit me up, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build this channel. So subscribe, leave a comment, and if there be any questions or any responses, hey, I'm open to that. I will respond. All right, later.